Welcome to the One Step Wealthier podcast, where I help you to get a little bit better every day and to achieve your financial goals. Follow along with me, and every week we will talk about all things personal development and personal finance. Together, we can get one step wealthier. Good morning and welcome to yet another One Step Wealthier episode. In today's episode, I wanted to talk about whether you're living a life you consciously chose or are you on default mode? Because there have been some moments of my life that I fell into a default mode and I thought that this was the right way to live for me because everyone else was doing that and everyone else's opinion was kind of influencing me a little bit and telling me this is the right path, why don't you, right? And the first thing that I can remember that was really by default was the children and family expectations. So in my late 20s, I thought that I should get married and have 3 kids. Because at the time, I was with a person who maybe wanted it, not to get a married part, but to get the kids. And I never liked children and I kind of knew about it. But then when the person next to you that you love wants to have children, you're like, okay, I want it too, right? But it would have been a disaster because I really value my independence, my freedom. I don't like children. I don't hate them, but I don't like them. I never got this maternal instinct, really. So it would have been a little bit of a disaster. I would have been one of those moms that, I don't know, I cannot really speculate that, but I just feel like it wouldn't have been the right path for me. And I was really influenced by what everyone else was doing because I was in my late 20s and it was kind of the time when everyone started to have children or everyone started thinking about it or talking about it. And I was like, right, so when I'm 31, maybe it would be the right time to have them. And then I kind of decided to back out of everything, really. So I'm actually grateful now for consciously choosing to remain single and to remain child-free because I feel that this is who I actually am. And I don't want to ruin that by making this a decision that is right for someone else, because children and family and have a house on the mortgage, that's the correct decision for a lot of people. And if that's the correct decision for you, that's amazing. But it wasn't for me. I just felt like I was being influenced by everyone around me, but it kind of felt right because obviously everyone else was doing that. So everyone must be right. If everyone is doing that, so I must be in the wrong, right? And it's not like that. It's according to your values, according to what you want, is according to what you value. But sometimes the family decision is made very early in life. Thankfully, it is made later and later now. But when it's made very early, you don't really stop to think about what you want. You actually think about what your parents want, maybe, or what your partner wants. And maybe your partner doesn't even want that. And your partner wants it because somebody else told him to want that. So it's very worth to think about, really, if this is the right thing for me or is that something that I copied from somebody else? Another thing where I thought myself living someone else's dream maybe or someone else's career was when I moved to London. And the reason I moved to London is because I wanted to get into finance or just get closer to the financial networks in my own way. And I discovered the financial advisory diplomas and I was like, oh my God. So there are studies that don't last that long, maybe a year, and you can become a qualified financial advisor and you can help people it sounded a dream come true. It sounded a match made in heaven for me. And I started studying like crazy for those diplomas. But then along the way, something didn't feel right. Because I was also checking the job market and I was checking what are the possibilities of me being a financial advisor long term. And all the careers that I came across, they were very much sales-based. And they were sales-based on things that I didn't really second. There were agencies that would train you to become a financial advisor in networks that sell overpriced products. And for me, because I'm a very big fan of passive investing, it didn't really click. And I was like, oh no, like what am I supposed to do with all those diplomas? Because I'm funding them myself. But I was kind of in the flow mode, passing exam after exam because I'm quite good academically. So I was like, okay, that's amazing. That's great. I can just pass one exam after the other and then think about it later. And then I applied for a couple of jobs. And in the end, the first job that I really wanted, it didn't work out. For the better, really very much for the better. And then I didn't want to apply anymore because I was like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to sell overpriced products to customers. I want to help people in another way. So that's why I'm making this podcast. And again, anything I say here, it's not financial advice or anything like that. It's just to make you understand that there are other ways how to deal with your own finances. So I hate selling, and this doesn't really go according with my values. I mean, selling something that I really believe in, I'm quite good at that, but I cannot sell products that I don't believe in because that clashes with my value of integrity. I cannot do that. So yes, I finished my level 4 financial advisor diploma, and people were questioning when I finished my diploma, why am I not a financial advisor? So what are you going to do? So you stopped trying. What happened to you? And for me, it was kind of difficult to explain that it is not that I'm giving up and it is not that I failed the first time and I don't want to try it again. I was actually trying to explain to them that this doesn't work with me and I cannot do that even for a couple of years, and they struggled to understand that. So sometimes it's hard to swim against the current where everyone is actually not understanding why you don't want to work for something that you studied. And for me, the level 4 diploma really helped to understand the industry and also understand some aspects of taxes, for example, in the UK that I had no idea about. And different aspects of how pensions worked and how different investments worked outside the ISAs, for example, if you max out your 20,000 a year of ISA. So that was really useful. But then other things were not that useful, like regulatory things. What can you advise on? What you can't advise on, and so on. But overall, it was an amazing experience, I must say. So it wasn't wasted time. It actually gave me clarity. And also, it made me understand that I didn't want to be part of that industry. So it was like, okay, that's fine. But this is the knowledge that I have. So any knowledge that you get, it's actually useful. You don't have to work with it if you don't want to. You can apply it in a different way. So I'm recording this podcast and some knowledge, I can utilize that to reaffirm what I'm saying here. So I wanted to ask you a question to finish this episode. Are you living a life that you chose, or are you living a life by default? Are you copying other people because other people are buying a house as an investment? Are you doing that as well because other people do that with no other explanation, or because somebody told you that this is the best investment? Or are you having children because someone told you that children are the biggest joy of your life, but you don't really believe that? Just step back for a little bit and think about it. Do you really want that? Or are you just doing that because somebody else told you this is a good idea? Or are you studying a degree, or are you studying something that will lead you to a career path that you don't maybe believe in fully? And if so, question that. Think about it. Is that the right path for me? Will it serve me? Or Is my path somewhere else? So that's worth thinking about. Reflect about that and question your own path. Maybe it's the right path, and that's amazing. I congratulate you, because if your path is according to your own values and you chose it and you step back and you're like, wow, this is my dream life. This is exactly what I want to do. That's amazing. That's great. But maybe it's not. And if it's not, reassess that. And to step out of your path is not a bad thing, really. So thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you have gone through something similar, I invite you to share your story. Share the story with me, DM me, message me, email me, whatever you like. I would love to hear from you. And if you liked this episode, please, please, please share it with someone. It helps more than you think. And remember that the best time to invest was yesterday and the second best is today. And a little disclaimer that anything I say here, it is not individual financial advice. I do not know your situation. Please always do your own research before making any financial decisions. You have just invested in your personal development by listening to this podcast. Thank you for being here and helping yourself to become one step wealthier. Don't forget to subscribe to access new content every week and to better yourself. Stay wealthy, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.